Now, although there's plenty of research showing that supplements can improve your performance in the gym, it's important for you to take the time to figure out which ones you will actually benefit from instead of just wasting your money on the ones that don't work. What's up everyone, David here. We got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now I'm pretty sure you can tell we got a bunch of supplements right here in front of us, but although there are many supplements out there, it doesn't matter whether it be for building muscle, building strength, losing weight, whatever your goal may be, we're gonna narrow it down to 3 supplements, the 3 that have the most research showing their benefits and why you should be taking it, and if you are even going to be taking supplements in the first place, because again, you got to emphasize they are not necessary. If you have goals, you're trying to hit the gym, doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, you do not need additional supplementation. There's a reason why they're called supplements. They're meant to supplement your diet. You should still be eating real foods, prioritizing good whole meals, and then, and only then, if you actually do need a little bit extra help, then you can go ahead and start introducing some of these supplements. But the thing is, especially with those that are new to the gym, they assume that right away they got to jump into pills, powders, drinks, whatever it may be. But in reality, is that really necessary? Most likely, no. But can it help? Only if you're picking the right ones. So for the sake of this video, for the sake of building muscle, building strength, losing fat, those 3 right there, we're gonna narrow it down to what I believe are the only 3 supplements that anyone will ever need should they decide to go down this route. Let's get into it. First one, and probably the most addicting one for many of you, caffeine. So we're gonna go in the order in which we are gonna be working out. So we wake up early in the morning, we're gonna hit this morning workout. But you know what? You're tired, you're exhausted. You stayed up late last night when you shouldn't have. What are you going to take to make sure that although you're feeling a little fatigued, although you're a little tired, you can't push as hard in the gym, what can we do to give us that little extra kickstart to really get the day going, to really set the tone for how hard we're going to be working out? Caffeine right here. We're going to be talking about caffeine. Again, the most addicting substance probably in this entire video, probably of all the supplements. Because again, caffeine, it is a stimulant. It is a very addicting substance. Many of you probably already have a caffeine addiction. Makes sense. You're a gym rat. But we got to figure out what exactly is it for. Caffeine gives us energy. It gives us that kickstart. It really gets us going, elevates our heart rate. We're feeling a little tired, a little sluggish. Boom. Let's take a scoop of pre-workout. Let's take an energy drink. Boom. We'll be good to go. Let's hit this workout hard. Now, typically, if you're going to go into any type of vitamin shop, supplement shop, whatever it may be, you're probably going to get your caffeine in the form of 2 ways. Either a pre-workout powder or an energy drink. Typically, these are the only 2 ways that you're going to get it from. Again, if you're going to be getting them from a supplement shop. But there's also some natural alternatives because maybe sometimes you can't afford these, or maybe sometimes you don't like the flavors. Good natural alternatives. Number 1 is going to be the obvious. Coffee. Just simple, old school black coffee, nothing too crazy. That's got caffeine in it. That will get you going. Second is going to be tea. Doesn't matter which flavor of tea, they all have different amounts. Just know that it's not going to be as concentrated, or it's not going to have as much caffeine compared to regular coffee. And then the last one, and in my opinion, the most important natural way for you to get your energy, sleep. Okay, I just want to make this thing clear. You do not need pre-workout. You do not need energy drinks. You don't need an excessive amount of caffeines if you're not even getting the adequate amount of rest, sleep at night that you should be getting. Again, a lot of these things, supplements, they only should be taken as needed. And for many of you, especially with the caffeine, you overdose. You overdo it so much because you're getting the lack of sleep. You can push as hard as you want in the gym, but if you're not actually getting adequate amount of rest, you're not sleeping enough and not sleeping of high, good quality sleep that you should be getting every night, then there's no reason for you to be taking this. How about we focus on sleep instead of staying up late all night, instead of scrolling on TikTok, binge watching Netflix? How about you spend all that extra time towards getting good, adequate amounts of sleep? And then you tell me how you feel in the morning. Surprisingly, believe it or not, you'll feel a lot better. You wouldn't need to rely on these things right here. But again, everyone's life is a little differently. We all have different needs. Maybe you just can't get enough sleep because you just have that much of a busy schedule. Full-time student, part-time work, internships, other responsibilities, just whatever it may be. Sometimes we don't have the time to be getting as much sleep as we can throughout the day. We don't even have 20 minutes to be taking a nap throughout the day. That is perfectly understandable. Again, everyone's life is different. We all have different circumstances, different responsibilities. If you need a little pick-me-up, caffeine is going to be the way to go. It's got endless amounts of research to show that yes, it is impactful, but do take into account how your body responds to caffeine is also a genetic factor. Some people have very high tolerances. Me, myself, I am like that. I have a very high tolerance. I have to take a lot before I even feel anything, or if I feel like a little bit of, of a pick-me-up. Other people, they are very sensitive to caffeine. My mom, the slightest bit of coffee, she says she feels jittery and nervous. So you see, everyone's gonna be a little different. So it's just a genetic factor, but it is also addictive. So if 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is right around 1 cup of coffee, if that gets you going, but you take it over time, over a long period of time, you will get used to it. Sooner or later, it's not gonna have that same effect. So you're gonna keep having to up the amount of caffeine. So take that into account. So that's what you take before the workout to give you the energy to really push hard in the gym. Now you're at the gym, you're doing a heavy set of squats, but you're starting to fatigue. What normally you could have done 8 reps with, now, if you were to take this next supplement, there is a possibility you can get that 9th, maybe even a 10th rep. What we're talking about here is creatine. Now, a lot of misconceptions are made about creatine and just how impactful it is, but I would like to point out of the 3 supplements we're going over today, this one has the most amount of research backing it up. This one has been shown time and time again that it is the best. Everyone should be taking it. It doesn't even matter if you don't go to the gym. If you're an elderly person, look at your grandparents and they have muscle atrophy, they're not as strong, they could benefit from taking this. This right here, creatine monohydrate, what exactly does it do? A lot of people think that it helps you build muscle, but that's not necessarily the case. Let's go back to the classroom. Let's have a little bit of nerd talk. When we're contracting our muscles, how do you think that happens? There is something inside of our body called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. That is the muscle's source of energy to allow us to contract the muscle. But the thing is, the harder we push, the longer we go, the more fatigued we get, there's gonna be less and less and less of that ATP. And when you think about it, if ATP is that source of energy to allow our muscles to contract and we're slowly running out of it, then what's gonna happen? We can't contract the muscles anymore. So therefore we can't do any more reps. You can't contract the muscle. Essentially, you're not doing a rep. Creatine right here is what allows our body to produce more ATP. So think of it as creatine is what is allowing a car to produce more gasoline, and that gasoline is what allows the car to run longer. That's the closest analogy I could put to it in the most simplest terms, but understand that this necessarily is not what's gonna allow you to build muscle in that moment. It's what's gonna give you the energy for your muscles to contract for longer, for more reps. So what you normally would have been able to do for 8 reps, now you can maybe do it for 9 or 10 reps. And over a long period of time, the fact that now you can push harder during a workout, because now you're able to push past what usually was 8 reps, and now you're forcing yourself to get that 9th, forcing yourself to get that 10th, you're pushing harder and harder each workout. You add that up for weeks, months, years on end, that's gonna give you results. So again, creatine doesn't necessarily help you build muscle in that moment, but it allows you to push harder each set of every exercise, of every workout. And if you do that over a long period of time, then you'll see the results that you want. But since we're talking about a long period of time, when should you be taking this? It's not like pre-workout where you only take it right before the workout and feel its impact in that moment. No. Creatine is not like that. Creatine is something that gets stored in your body. We naturally already have a good amount of it in our system. This is what allows us to produce even more, to push even harder during the workout. So this is something that should be taken every day. Now, when you should be taking it, that's gonna vary from person to person and just what your preferences are, what your meal timing is, and just whatever you can stay consistent with. A lot of people say, before your workout, after your workout, which one does your body absorb better? There is research comparing to how well your body absorbs it before or after the workout. Now, is there a difference before and after? Yes, but it is very, very minimal. Again, there is just a slight advantage, a slightly higher absorption rate if you take creatine after your workout, but like I said, it's very minor. So if you're very nitpicky about those things, then okay, fine, take it after your workout. But if not, it realistically is just taking it every day. So if you want to include it during your breakfast, mix it in with some coffee, whatever, okay, take it in the morning. If you could only take it in the evening, okay, take it in the evening. As long as you're taking it every day, it's gonna get stored in your system. Again, this is an everyday type of thing. It's not like you just take it the day of and then boom, you get results during that workout. No. Every day, think of it like a daily vitamin. Now, natural sources for this, there are some, but it's hard to get enough of it. The closest thing or the highest food source I can think of that has creatine is gonna be red meat. You get yourself a steak, it's got creatine in it. But the amount of steak you're gonna have to eat to be equivalent to 5 grams of creatine, which is normally one serving size, 5 grams, you're gonna have to eat so much red meat to equate that. So that's why it'll just be easier just to supplement with this. Again, remember what I said earlier, supplements, it's meant to supplement your diet. Still eat real food, eat your meats, eat your proteins, red meat. But if you can't eat that much of it, but you still want the benefits of creatine, okay, now you can go ahead and go with a supplement. But this one, in my opinion, relatively cheap compared to the other supplements, especially for how much you're getting and how long it will last you. I would say this is gonna be the best investment. Definitely #1 pick out of the 3 if I had to limit it down to just one. And lastly, and probably the most popular one out of the 3, it's just gonna be protein. I mean, this is probably the #1 supplement that everyone is gonna get right away, right when they start working out, especially the gym bros. You need your protein shake. You think that all of a sudden drinking these magical powders is gonna give you the physique that you want. No, that's not necessarily the case. Again, you should be prioritizing real foods, and only if you need a little bit extra, then go ahead and rely on the protein powders. So what exactly does it do? We already went over how pre-workout, you take it before your workout to give you the energy to get you going, hit the gym hard. All right, now we got the creatine, which is gonna help us out during the workout. All right, now we're done with the workout. Our muscle just got worked. All right, it's fatigued, it's tired, you did some damage to it. Now it's time to kickstart that recovery process. Because what many of you don't understand is you don't actually get results during the workout. When you go to the gym and you're pumping out some bench presses, you're not actually doing anything to the muscle to promote it to grow in that moment. What you're doing is, you're breaking it down, you're tearing down, you're creating some damage. It's the recovery process afterwards, that time when it's resting after the workout, even overnight. That's when the muscle is gonna take its time to then grow and recover to become bigger and stronger. And that's why it's important. Protein, your post-workout shake, that's where it should be coming into play. But I wanna point out, after your workout, your post-workout shake, that shouldn't be the only time where you're eating protein throughout the day. You should still be eating protein throughout all your meals, throughout the rest of the day. It's just supplementation-wise, it would make sense if you were to take it after your workout. So here's what we got. The most common one is gonna be whey protein. I mean, we see it all the time. Sell at Costco, they sell at any supplement store. This one, everyone knows what whey protein is. But for some of you, you can't drink it. Why? Because it's got egg product, it's got milk product, and some of you are vegan. That's perfectly fine. Especially if you're vegan, you will most likely have to rely a little bit more on supplementation for the protein specifically. So luckily, there's vegan products here too. We got the Orgain. It's got a funny texture, but it gets the job done. Because when you're vegan, you're not eating animals, you're not eating animal products. It's harder to get your protein in because a good amount of protein naturally just comes from animal products. So if you're eliminating that from your diet, then you might have to look into this, because there's only so many beans that you can eat. You can't even eat eggs, you can't even drink milk. Those are other non-animal or non-meat protein sources. So if you're eliminating that for your diet, hey, something's got to give. You got to get your protein from somewhere. It may make it a little easier just to get it through a protein powder. So these two are mainly for just getting your protein in throughout the day. Think of it as if you need a little bit more help with your diet, you're not that big of an eater, whatever it may be, that's a good way to get a little bit extra protein in your overall daily diet. These next two, I would say, in my opinion, are a little bit more specific, depending on what your goals are, who you are, and how busy your schedule is, whatever it may be. We got casein protein to start off with. Casein protein, unlike whey protein, it's a slow digesting protein. So as the name implies, it's gonna break down slower. It's gonna stay in your system longer. So if you know you have a busy schedule, you go hours without eating, you go hours in between meals, but you still need protein in your system, you might have to go with casein. Right before you go to bed, you already know you're gonna go 6, 7, 8, 9 hours without eating, but you still need protein in your system? Okay, go with casein. Just know that this is aimed more towards those who are gonna be going long periods of time without eating, but they know they still need to have an adequate amount of protein in their system. Now, this next one is a mass gainer. So for those of you who are naturally on the smaller side, like myself, sometimes you can only eat so much food. There's only so much chicken and rice, steak and potatoes, just so much chewing, so much eating. There's not enough time in the day to eat 6, 7, 8 meals throughout the day. It will make sense to go with a mass gainer. Still has a good amount of protein in it, but realistically, the excessive amount of calories that are in one serving of a mass gainer are not all coming from the protein. It's coming from extra amounts of carbs that are within one serving. So when you really break it down, regular protein powder and a mass gainer, you do one scoop, or I should say one serving, the amount of protein in each serving is going to be the same. Let's just say this one has 24 grams of protein per scoop, 24 grams of protein per serving or per scoop. The only difference is this one has an excessive amount of calories because there's also a lot of carbs to go with it. So think of it as protein powder and carb powder all in one. But regardless, you got to do what you got to do. If you're a hard gainer, hey, calories are calories, go with what you can. And then lastly, just for convenience, pre-made protein shakes. Again, all of these things, they all run under the same category of protein. You use it to build muscle. Take it especially after your workout, because again, you should definitely be recovering after the workout. There's only so hard you can push. If you're not feeding your body adequately the way it should, then you're not going to be getting the results that you want. Now, with that being said, natural alternatives for this, it should be common sense. Chicken, fish, rice, salmon, tuna, beans, milk, eggs, cheese, nuts. There's so many natural protein sources that you could be getting that you wouldn't even have to think about getting protein powder. But again, some of you are running different circumstances. Everyone's schedule is a little different. Do what it is that you have to do. If you just don't have the time, or if you don't have the appetite, or just there's certain circumstances where you just can't get real meals in, then all right, go ahead and get yourself your protein powders. Doesn't matter which one. Last point I want to make about this is, although as much as I am emphasizing taking your post-workout shake or taking your protein powder, specifically the powder, after the workout, at the end of the day, what really comes down to is total protein intake. So whether you're 160 pounds, so you should be eating 100 grams of protein because that's how much you weigh. It should ideally be 1 gram protein per pound of body weight. Whether you take it after your workout to kickstart the recovery process, you make a morning protein shake before you go to school, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you're getting your 160 grams in, you're good. Don't get so caught up in the intricacies and the timing. Be very specific. At the end of the day, if you're eating enough protein, you'll most likely get results of what you're seeing. So don't get too caught up on the timing. Again, as long as you're meeting your protein goals by the end of each day, you should more or less be on a good track. So there you have it, everyone. Like I said in the very beginning, yes, supplementation, there's a reason why they exist. It can help with your performance in the gym. Whether you're trying to build muscle, build strength, lose fat, whatever it may be, yes, there are certain supplements out there that can help you reach your goals faster, and they are a convenience to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. But if I were to limit it down to just 3, it would be caffeine, protein, creatine. Caffeine gives you the energy so you can push hard in the gym. The creatine is going to kick in so you can push even harder within that workout. And then the protein is what's going to help you build the muscle, which is the reason why you're in the gym in the first place. All 3 have their time and place. All 3 have their own separate brands, forms, such as powders or liquids, whatever it may be. But at the same time, at the end of the day, they're supplements. It's meant to supplement a diet. Instead of taking protein powders, eat a steak, eat a chicken breast. Creatine, there's really no way around it. Yeah, you can eat meat, but you're gonna have to eat a lot of it. Caffeine, yeah, you could take a scoop of pre-workout, or you could down an energy drink, but you can also be getting adequate amounts of sleep, or you can go with a natural option, go with a tea, go with coffee. At the end of the day, all this costs money, but at the same time, there's natural sources that are a lot cheaper, and most likely at the end of the day, a little bit better for you, because it's not processed or manufactured. But at the end of the day, you figure out what you need to do to help you reach your goals, your body, your choice, do what you feel is necessary. Comment down below if this video was helpful. Comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, I got new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.